Well, of course, we had the jobs report today. 192,000 wasn't bad. Sorry, I was 3,000 off at 189. What we noticed, though, of course, was the curve steepened right after that data was out. If you recall the Santelli exchange that we had early in the week, pretty much we decided that was about the only possible outcome was a curve steepening. Why? I'll give you 3.7 million reasons why. We have basically long-term unemployed people that have been unemployed for more than 27 weeks is just shy of 4 million, and it's very depressing. Now, yes, we are creating jobs, but that's why the yield curve is doing what it does. Let's start at the beginning once again. So you have your yield curve, long maturities, short maturities to long maturities, and what happens in May of last year? In May of last year, what we did was we readjusted the curve. We saw the long end move about 100 basis points. So the curve steepened a bit. Fine, great for banks. You've heard it all. And then, lo and behold, the March meeting. What happened in the March meeting? You took this curve and the notion of zero interest rate policy coming to an end at some point pushed the short end rates so the curve flattened a bit. Well, that's why it had to steepen. Why? Because we talk about the messiness of the Fed exit. You're kind of seeing the early stages of this, and I'll tell you why. Because the long end, even though it readjusted for the end of tapering in May, now looks up and sees that even though we're making progress, we're certainly better off than we were. But what, 5.5, 6 years into the post-crisis, we still have many post-crisis programs. We still have long-term unemployed, and the long end just isn't buying the general level of economic activity being enough. Might be the best in the world on a relative basis. But the short end is going to continue to keep scratching its head because many traders on this floor operate under the premise that really there isn't a lot of forward guidance. The Fed has to get out of QE. Every direction they're getting criticism, it isn't addressing the structural issues of unemployment. And in terms of zero interest rate policy, they're going to have to at some point raise rates. Just consider this. If we get an unexpected black swan, even maybe a little gray swan, what's the Fed going to do for an Encore? What are they going to do to address any issues that happen out of left field? We need to normalize policy, and that's why we have this Fed-ish swerving curve almost every time you get important data.